Alrighty then, another Mortal Kombat video for you today. What we are going to do is Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the Nintendo 64. However, we're going to be doing the prototype version. That's right, the early prototype version that you used to see in magazines. Let's go. All right, we're all set up at the hub for today's video with the prototype beta version of Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the Nintendo 64. We are playing this on original hardware using a flash card, an EverDrive, so that we can do this on original hardware. Of course, I have to use original hardware, guys. That's just the way it is. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get this all situated here. Go here. I don't know why that just did that. What else is new? It's always something. All right, let's go over here. And here we go. Prototype, as you can see. No actual text there yet, which is interesting. All kinds of fun little things are going on with this prototype version of MK Trilogy on the Nintendo 64. I wanted to let it cycle a little bit, but actually, just do that. Yeah, you know, I'm using a flash card to play this version. And we'll just reset it. Start over so you guys can see the opening here. It's much different. As you can see there, you got a little graphic in the background. The Mortal Kombat Trilogy logo is completely different than what we ended up with. I don't know. Do we like this one better or the one they actually ended up using? You tell me. I kind of like the one they ended up using, but that one there, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if I like that one better or not. I have not decided. I have not decided that. So here we have your opening screen looking a lot more like the arcade UMK3 versus what we ended up getting, of course, naturally. And you have your 2-on-2 combat tag team thing, right? And then you have your options, which that's where we're going to go now. You could, I think, put the code in this. I'm not going to put the code in this right now. I am going to put it on very easy because this prototype version is an absolute nightmare to play. No aggressor. There's no aggressor yet in this version, okay? So that didn't even happen yet when they got to this portion of the game. And look at this. Character select screen is much different. Looky who we have here. Unmasked Sub-Zero. That's right, the Unmasked Sub-Zero was in this version, along with his masked counterpart. As you can see, you can still do the code for the stage select. Oh, great. I didn't want Sonya, but I mean, I don't care. Carrie Hoskins, you know. Well, you know. As you can see, the battle plan is a lot more like UMK3, it pretty much is UMK3, versus what we would end up getting in the final version, which had the portal from regular 3 almost. It kind of went back to that a little bit. Hornbuckle in the background there. I'd love to know, and this is, maybe I'm crazy, but I would love to know, because Hornbuckle, the whole Hornbuckle thing was a rumor from magazines and stuff like that way back in the day. If anybody doesn't know, you might have young kids playing these Mugen games that have Hornbuckle in them, which we're gonna, don't worry, I have other things planned for this year-long Mortal Kombat stuff. But you might have kids playing that thinking Hornbuckle, you know, what, it was a rumor way back in the day from certain video game magazines. Oh, look, they disappeared. They disappeared. They're no longer there. From way back in the day, Hornbuckle. And it was word of mouth from kids in the arcades and magazines and stuff, spreading the name and everything else like that. Whoever first... Yeah, see? Pretty cool that it got fatality, but almost a nightmare to even play round one. It was... I want to know who originally came up with that name, because that is the dumbest name for a Mortal Kombat character ever. Hornbuckle? Hornbuckle wins. Like, come on, dude. Hornbuckle. Like, oh my god, just... Anyway, what I like about this version is I can use the Unmasked Sub-Zero, which was my favorite Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 3, not in Mortal Kombat as a whole. Now what? No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did I not pick Khan's Arena? Oh yeah, I forgot this. No wonder I was having trouble. I forgot the controls are completely different in this prototype version, where the C buttons are your punches and kicks, and the A and B are block and run, which is just not how I'm playing it on a Nintendo 64 controller, or used to playing it on a Nintendo 64 controller. So that is, yeah, that was a problem. Clearly a problem. And now it doesn't matter because it just doesn't matter. This game is absolutely ridiculous, as hard as it is. This prototype version is unbelievably hard. I am on the Novice Tower using very easy difficulty, and I mean, this is where we're at. This is where we are, okay? This is where we are. It's an absolute nightmare just to even get through the first fighter. Oh, jeez. Especially when you keep messing up the controls. Damn it! I could have changed the controls, obviously, in the options, but kind of forgot about that. Kind of forgot. So I'm just going to leave it where it's at. Whatever. I'm just going to leave it where it's at. We're just going to run with it. I don't understand. I picked Khan's Arena, did I not? See, this is the problem with the prototype. The prototype, that's just the way it goes. You know, that's just the way it goes with these prototypes. You never really get, you know, it's not going to be right. It's not going to be finished by any means. And clearly, there's a lot of unfinished business going on here in this particular prototype. But I love to go back now, all these years later, after seeing screenshots in magazines of these prototypes and saying, hey, what happened? Like, that was originally like that, and then it ended up like this. It's so fun to go back and actually be able to play these and see for yourself, finally, after all this time, what exactly was going on there. So, very fun stuff there. And I have some content on Street Fighter 2 related to prototypes and things like that that we will be diving into at some point, don't worry. So any fans of the Street Fighter 2 series back in the day, stay tuned for that. And this is just ridiculous. I'm blocking and he's still doing. Okay. You can see how ridiculous it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, when I'm not blocking, I get it. But when I'm blocking and it just keeps doing it, it's just like, yeah, okay. Oh, no. No! Wrong buttons. Wrong buttons! Okay. Anyway, whatever. We're just gonna go till the credits run out. We're not trying to do anything crazy. I just wanted to play this prototype for a little bit to show you guys. Yeah, that's Human Smoke. The question mark is Human Smoke, and of course, Chameleon unlocks under there. So, okay, I already did that. Let's go Cyrax. And then let's try Khan's Arena again, which is not it's a level that's taken out of this version for Nintendo 64 in the final version. I'm trying to go there, but apparently it doesn't like me picking it. Okay, there we go. Now it worked. Now it worked. Wrong buttons! God damn it. That was enough to annoy me. And I'm still doing it. Oh my god. That's a problem, man. So, as you can see, in Khan's Arena, we have Raiden tied up. Which is interesting to see, you know? It's very interesting. And if we go to the other side, we have Baraka tied up. Isn't that interesting? It's just fun to see that. Knowing that that was supposed to be the case, and then they just said, no, we can't. We need to make room for whatever else we're going to do in this game, so we have to take some stuff out, and they did, unfortunately. But it was here at one point. Unmasked Sub-Zero was here at one point. Khan's Arena was here at one point. A few other things. So it was originally, you know, in the works and intended, but they took it out. And then, of course, Khan's Arena in the PS1, Saturn, and PC versions is in there, but there's just nobody there's nobody chained up, right? There's nobody chained up, and I totally messed that up. In those versions, there's nobody chained up in the background, and the excuse is, well, Raiden and Baraka are in the game, or Kano and Sonya are in the game, and that's why they're not chained up, which is, I get it. I get it. But you have them chained up here, and they're still in the game, so, I mean... I think it's cool. I think, hey, it doesn't matter if they're in the game or not. Like, okay, so what if they're in the game? All you gotta do is, if you're using one of them, let the computer know, okay, this character is in play on this level. Remove that character, I know. I know, that takes up more memory to do that, and there's just no way that was going to happen, so. That would have been cool, right? Because obviously when you fight Shao Kahn, he's not just still sitting in the chair. You fight Shao Kahn, he's not sitting in the chair no more. You know, so if you use Raiden or Baraka, they should disappear from the stands, from the pedestals there. That's how I think it should have been, and that would have been really cool. But of course they did not. Whatever. And I totally botched the whole fatality. Oh my god. I'm surprised I made it this far. I am honestly surprised. Wow. Yeah, I can't play this game with these controls the way they are. I mean, I forgot all about that. So that's my fault there. But I can't. It's just too... I should have changed it. I wish I would have remembered that. Oh well. I'm not changing it now. We're already this far in. Yeah, there he is. Hornbuckle wins. Can you imagine him saying that? Sounds so damn stupid. Hornbuckle wins fatality. Whatever moron back in the day came up with that stupid rumor that got the magazines talking about it, got everybody else talking about it, got the kids in the arcade talking about it, and now here we are all these years later, and then he's shown up in Mugen versions of this game. Hornbuckle win. I don't think they actually say Hornbuckle in the Mugens or whatever, thank God. Because just, to me, that's the dumbest, dumbest name, you know. You're pushing the limits with Noob Saibot, but you can understand it. You're pushing the limits with Aromac, but you can kind of understand it. But Hornbuckle? Hornbuckle? Come on. I don't care what the hell the meaning behind it is. It's just a stupid name for a Mortal Kombat game. Stupid. Hornbuckle. I don't know. Whatever. But I do remember that back in the day. I remember in the magazines, literally, rumors like, you can play as Hornbuckle, and I'm like, Hornbuckle? What the hell? And I mean, I remember that stuff vividly, like from Game Pro and other stuff, and I think like some of these rumors that got started with Mortal Kombat was from like Game Pro's Lame Pro, which was part of an April Fool's thing, and kids just did not realize it was part of an April Fool's thing. They also did it in Electronic Gaming Monthly and other magazines. They did April Fool's type stuff to mess with people. and it could have started from there. I could be wrong. There was a few rumors that started from those April Fool's articles that people actually bought into. But Hornbuckle, I'm not really sure if that came from that or whatever. But man, Hornbuckle. Such a stupid name. Hornbuckle wins because his buckle has horns, honey. I don't know. Good old Hornbuckle. Good old Hornbuckle. Yes, sir. It's like Liu Kang's green pants counterpart, right? Liu Kang's green pants counterpart, Hornbuckle. When you have Katana's green pants counterpart, Jade, but that name actually sounds cool. So, I don't know. What are you going to do? Not much. One more credit. Game's brutally difficult. And again, like I said, me and the computer, you know, there's a lot of exploits you can use. I don't know if they're in this, but there is a lot of them to get through these computer matches. I don't personally know a whole lot of them or ever really cared to learn them because, again, most of my time spent with these games was in busy arcades where you barely ever had a chance at playing the game single player unless you showed up literally an hour before the place opened and waited so that you could get in there and at least get a couple games in and have the machine to yourself before the crowds swarmed in. And that's what I would do quite often, is show up early in the morning, get there nice and early. That way I had 15, 20 minutes, I would say, to have the machine to myself. Because, I mean, dude, people just started coming in like crazy after the place opened. 15 minutes after the place opened, people would start pouring in. And my place had 2 machines of each. So when Mortal Kombat 1 was hot, they had 2 Mortal Kombat 1s. When Mortal Kombat 2 was hot, they had 2 Mortal Kombat 2s. Same with 3. And even though that was the case, you still had to show up that early because both machines would fill up really quick. So if you wanted to play single player, you had to get there super early in the morning, 10, 15 minutes. You'd have the machine to yourself. Somebody else would have the other machine to themselves for 10 to 15 minutes. And then the swarms would come in and it would just be busy the rest of the day. And you pretty much never get the machine to yourself all the rest of the day. And that's how it was back then. At my arcade anyway. I know some arcades were a little slower or whatever as far as business-wise goes, especially with 3 and 4. But mine, they were always in there, man. It was craziness. Absolute craziness. So that's why I'm not as familiar with all the exploits of single player and all that stuff. And even owning the arcade machines in my home now, I haven't really worried about it. Maybe one day I'll kind of learn them and we'll fool around with that. Maybe that'll be something we do in the year of MK that we're doing this year. But yeah, so there it is. The prototype, let's get out of here and go back over here. There it is, the prototype of Mortal Kombat Trilogy on Nintendo 64. There's a lot more goofy stuff you can do with that, but just kind of wanted to show you a little bit of gameplay and stuff like that with that. And we'll do some more videos on this down the road. And if I figure out more things we can show with it, I know there's like other weird funky stuff that goes on with this that we didn't get into. But we will get into eventually. We will get into it. So, yeah. If you like this kind of thing, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload more videos. Because there is a ton more on Mortal Kombat coming soon. And other fighting games like Street Fighter and all that good stuff. So, stay tuned. And with that said, I will catch you all down the road.